Just be out with us
to Porto, Portugal. It is a historical city, it's a very old city, and there is so much to do here. We originally came for just 1 week and extended our stay to the entire month. And because there is so much to do, we decided to split this vlog of things to do in Porto in two. In this video, we will focus on all the historic sites and the historical center of the city Porto. And in the next vlog, we will tell you all the unique things you can do in Porto.
And there are a lot of unique things.
If you're new to our channel, my name is Irina.
And I'm Devon.
And we are Just Be Out. We create informative travel videos to help you get the most out of your vacation.
So let's start exploring Porto.
Just be out with us. Porto Riviera, or the riverside, is a must visit. There are two levels, the riverfront and the terrace a little bit above. Both are beautiful, lined with restaurants, bars. There is a craft market, and from here you can also take lots of river cruises and boat cruises. We are now in front of a beautiful Porto Cathedral, and it is located right next to Dom Luis Bridge, well, right before the bridge. So if you go around the cathedral that way, you will reach the upper level of the bridge, and we will tell you a little bit more about the levels later. Right over here you will also find the historic monument of a horseman, and from here there is a beautiful lookout. You can see the old city of Porto. All the buildings with orange roofs are stacked on top of each other. It is really picturesque. Here you can also often find local artists and live music, and if we go that way we will get to the other side of the cathedral. We are now on the other side of Porto Cathedral. Right behind me is the main entrance, and this is where you can purchase tickets to get inside. It is €3. Right in front of it, where we're standing right now, is a beautiful square with a picturesque monument right in the middle. And this square is like a terrace because it is located up on the hill and it overlooks Douro River, and from here you can also see the other side, which is Gaia, and we will take you to Gaia in our next vlog. From here you can also access stairs leading to the lower level, to the Riviera, where all the restaurants and bars are located and where you can also take river cruises. Right below this terrace there is a fountain that was first built, I think it's in 15th century, and it was built in another part of Porto, but then it was replaced below this cathedral right here, and it's actually a beautiful functioning fountain. If you are into churches, don't miss out on Saint Francis Church. It was built in 1245, and even though it has an unusual Gothic exterior, the interior is decorated with gold. Over 300 kilos of gold were used to decorate the inside of this church. Underneath the church there are catacombs where the monks were buried and some of the wealthy people were buried. It is not free, it is $7.50 to go in. Be sure to check it out. Another church worth stopping by is Santo Ildefonso. It is a 19th century church built in Porto Baroque style. Why Porto Baroque? Well, you see the blue tiles, over 11,000 tiles were used to decorate this church. It is actually a functioning church, and they hold daily mass, and it is free to walk in. This church has probably the most blue and white tiles. This is called Chapel of Souls, and it is free to go in. One of the fun and affordable things to do here in Porto is taking a tour on this Martina Mega train. Well, it looks like a train, but it's really a car. And the tour consists of historic sightseeing in the downtown Porto, and they also take you across the bridge to Gaia and will take you to one of the wine cellars, Portuguese wine cellars, offer you wine tasting with 2 types of wine, take you a little bit around Gaia, and this tour is an hour and 45 minutes. Looks pretty cool. Another sightseeing option is a double-decker hop-on, hop-off bus. As you can see here, you can find a variety of tours: Tuk Tuk tours, classic, sidecar and bike city tours, and they all vary by time and prices starting from 20 euros to 400 euros for the full day. You might think we're in a museum. You see a lot of blue tiles all around from floor to ceiling, but believe it or not, we are actually inside of an active train station. This is Sao Bento train station, located right in the historic center. This is where you would take trains for your day trips, or maybe visit in other cities such as Braga, Aveiro, or even Douro Valley. But even if you are not planning to take any trips outside of Porto, just come to this train station, take some pictures, and there are also some cafes that you can get some food. We are now at the Clérigos Church. It is located right next to Torres Tower, and the admission to this church is free till 5:30 p.m. It is really beautiful. There are a lot of golden decorations. It is gorgeous and definitely a must visit. If you are planning to visit Torres Tower, it is 6 euros per person to go all the way to the top. But also this church does really awesome light show that it lasts for 30 minutes, and it is $14. But you can do a combo of the light show plus the Torres Tower for $16 instead. We're now heading to the top of the tower, Torre. The main entrance is actually where the entrance of the church is. The church is to the left and the tower is to the right. Keep in mind, there are certain time slots when you can go up, and there is no elevator, so be sure you can walk 225 steps all the way up. Let's go. Thank you.
Thank you.
This is not just a tower where you can go up and get a 360 view of the entire city, but it is also a museum.
So this is the final room before we take on the tower, and this one is called Crystal Collection, and it's a collection of Christ.
We're finally all the way up. There are actually 2 levels of the tower. As you can see, the tower is really narrow, the pathway, I would say. I can't even stretch my arms, and there are a lot of people. So a lot of people, if they're standing, it creates a bottleneck here, and you either have to wait or try to squeeze through.
Or keep moving.
Or keep moving, exactly. The tower is over 75 meters tall, and when it was first built in 1763, it was planned to be the biggest landmark in Porto, and it was used for ships to navigate as well. Now it's just a clock tower and an observation tower. On the lower level, the walls are very high, and for me as 5'1", it's really hard to see or observe, but here at the tower you get 360-degree view of the entire city of Porto. It is pretty cool, but because the space is really tight and there are a lot of people, it's not as pleasant experience as I anticipated. from the tower you get a perfect panoramic view of the entire Gaia Riviera. You can see all the wine cellars from here, the boats, wow, cultural district, the 5-star hotel, the monastery, and unfortunately you cannot see the bridge because it is covered by Porto Cathedral. Churches, churches, and more churches. Yes, when you come to Porto, they are everywhere. We are now standing in front of actually 2 churches. On my right hand side there is Carmo's church, and on my left hand side is Carmelita's church. It is free to enter inside Carmo's church, but the admission to Carmelita's church and the hidden house in between is $3.50. Yes, you can see the 2 windows in between these 2 churches. This is actually the hidden house, but let's go closer and I will tell you more about it. And this is Casa Escondida, or the hidden house between 2 churches. The house is so narrow. It is only 3 feet or 1 meter in width. And believe it or not, people actually lived in there. The door right now is open so I can see a little bit inside. It doesn't look super narrow, not as 3 feet. It actually inside looks a little bit wider, but rumors told the reason why these 2 churches built a house in between is just so the monks and the nuns do not share a common wall. And another rumor is just for the aesthetic purposes, so there is no gap in between 2 buildings. They decided to put a house. This house used to be served for people who worked in the church and the architects who were building these churches. And this place was also used to hold secret meetings during the French invasion of Portugal. But the major attraction of this church is actually the architecture of it on the side of the church. One of the sides of these churches is decorated with blue and white tiles, and that is the major attraction of this church. One of the cool things you can do is come to the local market. This is Mercado Temporario Bolhão, and here you can find a lot of interesting things, including fresh juices for €2 and a lot of varieties of fresh fruits and vegetables at affordable prices. This market called temporary, is because the original market is 100 years old. It's been repaired for already 4 years, but supposedly September 15th, 2022, the original market should be ready and all the vendors will move back in. We just spoke to one of the vendors and she cannot wait to get back to the old market because it's really beautiful. It attracts a lot of tourists. It's one of the major tourist attractions, and she says here it's like a prison to be here for 4 years, and she cannot wait to move back. So if you're coming to Porto, and go check out the original market. If it opens, let us know in a comment. Alright friends, you might think we're in a fish store. With these sardines have chocolate flavor. Just kidding. This is chocolate packaged like sardines. This is incredible concept. They have even in a can to make it look like sardines, and they look so real. At first when I approached the stand, I'm like, what? No way. It does look like real sardines, but it's actually not. And they have it packaged like this in a can, in a sardine can. This is so beautiful. and like this, look, this is amazing. And this is actually dark chocolate, but this is packaged like tile, so they have printed tile on top of it, so it looks like a tile. Very beautiful souvenirs. They also have chocolates with port wine, so they have a flavor of port wine, and they also have chocolate with pastel de nata. Look at that.
These dried fruits that's here, they're irresistible. The colors, I think it's a marketing ploy that they put all these colors together and it makes you want to buy it. So I'm actually going to buy one of these, which is a mixture of the hibiscus, the manga. I'm not even sure what this is, but we're going to find out. Which one is this?
Grapefruit.
Grapefruit.
Green.
Green? Whoa. Okay.
And it is 2 euros for a mixed one.
Strawberries. Ah.
Strawberries.
Yeah. Maybe I should play a game. Maybe I should try eating them and then just figure out what they are. Because a lot of times you can't eat. I thought this was green pepper. Like green bell pepper. Okay. The last thing to do here on our list in Porto is to cross the Dom Luis Bridge that is right behind us. Now there are 2 ways to do so, upper level and lower level.
The upper level is more scenic and it will take you to the higher point of Gaia, and the lower end will take you from Riviera to Riviera, from one side of the river on Porto side to the other side of the river on Gaia side. And the reason why you want to be crossing this bridge is to
visit Gaia, of course.
And Gaia is known for their port wine cellars, but we will tell you all about it in our next vlog. So be sure to subscribe to our channel and click the like button and notification button so you don't miss when our next video comes out.
Obrigado for watching and just be out with us.